Burnout isn't always about overwork. Sometimes it's the result of feelings we carry around but never seem to have the time or energy to process. Grief isn't just emotional. It can be physically exhausting, mentally draining, and if ignored, it can lead straight to burnout. Today, I'll share with you how burnout and grief are related, my experience with the two, and most importantly, how to effectively manage them so you can process your grief and start recovering from burnout. Grief and burnout activate the same stress pathways in the brain. When we suppress grief, telling ourselves we just need to power through, we push our nervous system into overdrive, and then one day we crash. I went through this myself when I lost my father. At first, I thought I was handling it well. I kept working, showing up, pushing through, because I thought that that's what we are supposed to do. However, little by little, I felt myself shutting down. I wasn't just sad, I was exhausted. I had zero motivation, my brain felt foggy all the time. And when I finally slowed down enough to check in with myself, I realized I was completely burnt out. Now, what helped me recover wasn't pushing through. Instead, it was allowing myself to heal in a way that didn't drain me further. First, I had to acknowledge my grief. For me, my father's death was crushing. I pressured myself into returning back to regular life without having taken the time and space to actually deal with the weight of his passing. At the time, I was working in corporate, finishing up my studies, so I just kept busy, hoping that one day I will feel better. Even though I'd catch myself at times thinking to myself, I just want time to grieve, or I don't want to go back to normal life just yet. Over time, those thoughts turned into a feeling that weighed on me more and more. And despite my best efforts to cope, I was overwhelmed and I desperately needed time to grieve. However, I kept going. And slowly my body began losing its energy, my mood became erratic, I felt increasingly disappointed and disillusioned with my environment, and I started developing mental and physical health issues. I finally crashed close to the 2-year anniversary of my father's passing. For 2 years, I tried to deal with my grief by pushing through my exhaustion, but it wasn't until 2 years after my father's passing that I finally decided that I had to take the time to process my feelings. I took time off work, sought professional help, and started working through my burnout. Slowly, I began feeling like myself again, as if a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. My mind felt clear, I was dealing less and less with brain fog, and I felt like I was inching closer to a sense of freedom that I haven't felt in years. I regained my creativity and started working on things that I'm passionate about again. If my experience taught me anything, is that burnout isn't just about working too much. It's about carrying too much emotional weight without proper support or time to recover. Instead of pushing through like I did, you should acknowledge your loss. Take the time you need, not just for rest, but for emotional processing as well, and reconnect with the things that bring you joy and support your recovery. Not sure where you stand with burnout? Don't wait until things get worse, because your energy and well-being are too precious to ignore.